Welcome on this epic adventure, the 106th day with more than their Dalmatians. And we're talking about coding, and the thing that is taking up the most faith, that is brightening up everyone's day, even though it's completely started in dark mode, is Leon Andersen's upcoming blog. And we want to share some exciting updates today with you, but first we need to clap one time, and now we can introduce the host with the most CSS on his page. It's Leon Andersen. How are you doing?
I am excited that I'm not the only one who developed OQD, obsessive quacking disorder. But on top of that, I'm really excited, and I was quacking all day long because I could mostly focus on styling today and having the song Freestyler by Bombfunk MCs in the back of my mind, rock the microphone, and yeah, what you see there is not my Photoshop file, but something that looks exactly like my Photoshop, or very close to my Photoshop file that we shared a week ago, probably about a week ago, yes. And yeah, let's interact with this thing. So my cursor is unfortunately not dark yet, representing the dark mode, but anyway, let me think where we should start. So basically, we have everything from before. Clickable, but there's some wonky MDX styling that has to go into everything, into the posts, which is going over my maximum width. I have to do this one as well, and also find a nicer thing for my code examples, like a nice background and color scheming representation way. But this is already pretty representative with the colors, with the not too long, just like reading a book. And yeah, home button works as always. I mean, yeah, it's about styling. So about works without the footer coming up. And my favorite feature is the imprint page. No, just kidding. That's a piece of garbage still. But also because I don't know yet how I can do the styling to be, how I can basically do the styling on the MDX sheet directly, because the imprint page is a MDX page that I'm loading directly as a page. So I'll probably have to build some containers around that and so on and so forth. But anyways, my favorite part is, well, let's make it, I think this here it looks best, is the subscribe button. Ta-da! Which yeah, I did not manage yet to make the subscribe button overlay with the with this one, but I also like that you're directly here, where you also have to fill it out. So you click, and then you can click again and directly type. But maybe I will just do some logic to that you have to, that as soon as you click, you're already in typing mode, if that's possible. So you don't have to click one more time for typing. But I am really hyped about the design, because it's very and clean. And yeah, I found it like I basically explored different ways of integrating the subscribe form into the navbar, and suddenly in one of them the input field got had a much bigger height than it had before. And then I was like, well, what would it look like if I pull it all the way across the navbar? And yeah, I really liked the outcome. Really happy about it. And I also set, by the way, the favicon, which is the icon that is in the browser tab, which you can't see because I can't share it. It's a turquoise A for Andersen. And well, also I set the texts for the or some of the text for the pages, for the titles, like the title text that gets shown in the browser tab next to the icon, and learned some stuff there. Learned a lot about basically, I mean, I can share, yeah, why not share my beloved VS Codium. Oh yeah, and also there's but we'll go into that in a moment. I also wrestled with the scroll bar, and we will see in a moment what I did there when we're going back. But let's look at something that I consciously learned today, was how inside of the Next.js inside of a Next.js project, the elements, the HTML elements and basically all tags are nested inside of each other, not just the component nesting itself, but also where goes the main, where goes the body, and so on and so forth. And for that, let's open layout, navbar. This one we don't need, this one we don't need, this one we need, this one we also need. So we have the navbar component. Wait, let me think for a moment what's the best order to describe it. Well, we have, well, let's just take the layout. The layout itself, I put some divs in here so I could style the navbar and the footer, but also could style the children, the components. separately. This flex1 thing is basically making that the nav bar, and now the footer is not, or is staying at the viewport bottom, at the screen bottom, basically, even if you have less content than it's filling up the whole screen. So divs are quite like versatile, one could say. Unfortunately, just using fragment tags, basically empty tags, do not work with class names for styling. So div is the, as far as I'm understanding it, the most flexible, versatile, or unbiased tag we can have for that. And then this is basically wrapping, now in app.js, wrapping around, as you can see, the head and the component. The head is just, unfortunately, as far as I'm understanding it, the head is necessary to do the individual titles of your pages, and or let's say default headers, because you can't do that in document, which I'm going to in a moment. You can do, what I didn't know before, what I learned a few moments ago was, you can use the header to do titles on each individual page. So this way, maybe the app.js will get a bit cleaner again. But basically, here we are still basically in the components wrapping components. The layout is also made up of components, and those components, for example, the nav bar, are made up of HTML tags. The outer one for navbar is a nav. I don't know if I actually wrote that myself or if I got that tag from somewhere else, but it's descriptive in a good way. Then we have then I have a div for styling to put both my home button, which is my name, my name link, my name as a home link, but and also the buttons on the side, the about button and the subscribe button, which are both on the right side while my name is on the left side, to put them all together basically in one container, which is inside of the nav container. So the nav container has a full width, and the div with those links inside has only a max width of 2XL, which is 42 rem. And it's also, yeah, basically centering to the middle by doing the margin on the x-axis to both ways automatically. This way I managed to put all links basically in the middle, and then with that max width I could basically get the where is it, the h1 tag to, I think for some, I don't know, it's not here in the classes, but it's on the left. Probably it's just on the left per default, because if you add as far as I remember, if you add HTML elements, they all start at the left. then I got the list of the other buttons to attach to the right by doing margin left auto. So basically, it's, as far as I'm understanding it, this is pushing away from the left margin of this max div, of this range. So it's pushing the buttons to the right side. Putting some space in between, centering the items. As far as I'm understanding it, it's centering them on the y-axis. And yeah, that was a nice nice experience of figuring that out, because I actually figured that out on my own without ChatGPT. I mean, some of the elements I got from previous attempts, but the strategy of wrapping it in a div was my own discovery, which felt really cool. And then I'm also, where is it? Somewhere. Where is it? Somewhere I should have some extra padding. Oh, padding right. I added that directly to the div as well, because the too bad we can't share multiple screens at the same time. But basically, what annoyed me was that the lines of the text were often not going full width across the across that container. I also used that basically for all the blog contents and page contents, except for the imprint. They didn't go the full length because they basically just they weren't long enough sentences, and this way it looked like the buttons were too far on the right side. So the left is perfectly, like the line beginnings are perfectly aligned with my name tag here, with my homepage link, but the buttons here, they're like in like kind of a zone of mixed text aligns. There will probably be some changes to that when I fix or get more contact with the HTML, with the MDX styling. Yeah, I can do the exact, go to the exact margin of this container. But so far I got it in quite a bit, like maybe half a centimeter, or maybe even more, to give it the feel that it's actually in the, or let's say in the median edge, or the average edge, not on the outlier edge of each individual line break. So yeah, exactly. And this basically, this nav element is inside of the layout, and the layout is wrapping around the component, and the component is then going into the document.js, which is the main which is taking in the app.js component through this main tag. I tried giving it class names and styling it separately, but that didn't work. the main function of this is to import the app.js components, basically. And the next script, so the document.js is basically, I learned that a bit more in depth today as well, understanding it even better, is basically representative of the scripts that you usually have in your HTML body at the bottom below the main part. And this is here next scripts and probably scripts, I don't know if, but a lot of scripts are imported there automatically from behind the scenes. Also in this file we can have the head tag, but only, as far as I know, to include the favicon. And maybe there are some other stuff one can do there, but definitely not the title. I got yelled at for that. And yeah, this is basically yeah, what helped me really today with structuring the styling was to understand that all pages are basically main. Well, let me open a page, for example, index. Our main are wrapped in mains, which are then wrapped in the body, and all other components that are not like real like full pages, they are wrapped in, like, for example, the nav bar in a nav tag, or the what else do we have? The subscribe form. Did I change it yet? So this one, I will see if I find, because I didn't work on that one yet, if I find any tag that is describing better what's inside of here. Div does work probably, but let's get into a different example. So the subscribe form that's inside of the nav bar is wrapped by a form tag at its outer edge. So basically, the body tag is only used in the document.js. The main tags are only used in pages, and the subcomponents, they have descriptive utility tags, basically, depending on the content of the component, and stuff like article tags, or for blog posts, or sections for whatever. But main is basically reserved for pages, and body is reserved for only the document file. And that helped me a lot to really structure where I'm styling what. And yeah, that was really cool learning that today. And I think, oh yeah, I can share my scroll bar. I mean, unless there's anything to add to that waterfall of wisdom that I just spit.
Well, it's great. I don't have many notes. It's great so far. Let's look at the scoreboard.
All right, so back once again to Leon Andersen homepage. Oh, I wouldn't share the meme yet. So I unfortunately don't. Okay, yeah, I got it. So I was really annoyed with the regular scroll bar. Let me show you how it looks like by just commenting out what I wrote in VS Code. No, this is wrong. Back. Yeah, the commenting is a bit weird if I'm commenting out other comments. So I have to comment stuff individually. Comment out stuff individually. And now you should see the wonderful not dark mode scroll bar. What is this on a beautiful page like this? On a clean page, we have like, this is too much, like little triangles here, border. Like this is not minimalistic design, and also it's bright. Like if you got 1% white on your screen because of the scroll bar, you're 1% psychopath. So you want to want to avoid that. And to make sure that you're 100% human, or 100% in connection with your human essence, you can either make your title, your scroll bar dark. Let me get it back real quick. The commenting is really here. Oh no. I don't know if I'm the only one having trouble with commenting individual lines. Okay, now we have it. Now we have the minimalistic scroll bar that I designed instead. However, there is this annoying leftover on the side, and also down below you don't really see it because it's very short. Here you see it in the edge. You don't see it if you scroll fast enough, but you definitely see it up there because the nav bar is fixed. So that's not cool. Also, I wouldn't like the alternative would be to make the background of the scroll bar the same color as the nav bar, but then we have a whole line there colored, and that's also not that great. So the solution will be, and I will be a pioneer in this, to just get rid of the damn scroll bar once and for all. And basically, like, the concern was that, well, what if I have so many posts here that the user doesn't know where they are at? Well, then it just looks like it's on Instagram, where when you're on the page, you also don't have a damn scroll bar to see where you are. However, I have to say that when you're scrolling a blog post, it's quite helpful to know where you are in the blog post. So maybe I have to find a solution for that still. I mean, I'm curious about basically, about finding a solution to that. My idea is to at least on the blog post pages, I'm going to make that the scroll bar is not showing unless I am scrolling, and then it appears, and also that it only scrolls that the scroll bar is not interfering with the nav bar and the footer. And I'm pretty sure that this is going to work, but I guess it takes a lot of it takes quite a while, because I would have to use probably some React for that, some JavaScript logic, and build a custom scroll bar component for that, and that is not my highest priority. And so on the individual blog posts, I will have the clean bar that only appears once you're scrolling and is not interfering with the nav bar. And on my main page with billions of articles, you will have the infinite scroll without any damn scroll bar. And yeah, I don't know. Scroll bars do make sense to know where you are, but I know from deep down in my heart that there are way better solutions than the ugly ass default bright psychopath scroll bar. And until then, it's better to have no scroll bar. Mic drop.
More, I think that we can show this, which pretty much shows your thinking process behind this. So we started a little bit in first scrollbar. You've got a little bit more smarter and you were, hey, I can turn it dark in dark mode. And then you're like, why not always make it dark? So let's just be seen on Mario and mine. We know that most scrollbars the way.
But also I have to say, I went even further to the yin and yang, to the balance point of view, where I have no scroll bar in some places and highly customized dark scroll bar always in other places. So I've evolved even further than the meme.
I actually have a bonus meme for you, so I want to see what I can say to this one.
Yeah, I knew that I knew that I was not following your direction on that, but I just wanted to get something done, and I felt way more comfortable to style it for the design that I already designed in Photoshop. So I already knew how that is going to look like, but this one is really hitting it on the hitting the nail on the head. And I also thought to myself that this is going to be a great experience to know the difference between those two processes. And yeah, I'm curious about how bad it's going to be to work the other way around. And I have the feeling that it's probably not that bad, but I might be might be wrong on that one.
In Hebrews, I can see that in the I think what will probably happen is you will try that. You will say no, fuck that shit, and you will start from scratch and then just add the new styles. Because the thing is, I didn't even check on you in terms of this because I thought you were doing it, and then suddenly when you showed the code today and I really read it, I was like, wait, I mean, modificators for the responsive styles, I'm saying. What happens to the best? Let's see how you solve it.
Yeah, I still have no idea how that is going to work. To start the other way around, and also how that actually, overlaps acts with what I did. But yeah, I'm going to find out. And I mean, I probably don't have to scratch everything, right? Because I know, I don't know. I can't imagine that. Like, why would the like, why can't I save the state that I have now for desktop to just appear on desktop once I have it? Once desktop is shown and I have other I don't know. What's in the way of that?
The styles that you put for mobile will still be applied.
But can't I just configure that by just putting the right I don't know if it's called media queries, like the right breaking points at the right positions, or at the right places inside of the classes. Isn't that basically just a matter of reordering some of the classes? I don't know.
No, you would have to then involve breakpoints, also turn off all your mobile styles, which you can do, but then your CSS will be, or your tailwind will be very hard to maintain in the long term.
Okay, I have zero idea how responsive design is going to work then. How to start with the with the mobile phone first was actually in none of the tutorials so far. So yeah, I'm feeling a bit sad right now.
Oh, that didn't mean to bum you out, because the blog is great, what you made and haste progress. And it's a lesson that a lot of people learn with much more pain when needed. And so, in worst case, you just spend a day, because a lot of the things that you learn, you will still need to apply for the desktop queries. Well, yeah, I just it happens to the best. It's a good thing to learn early.
Well, do my understandings of how the component, like how the tags are wrapping into each other, is that helpful still, or can I scratch out of what I learned as well?
Well, that would be incredibly helpful still, because again, the styling, right, the CSS is only for visual people who do not rely on assistive technology. So getting the general markup of your HTML or your JSX, since you're using Next.js, right, is crucial and should be independent of styling.
Okay, but I used the some of that for styling, like for example, having the nav bar have a subcontainer which is at the center of the nav bar, but has a limited width. Like the thinking process of basically nesting the components to have them relate to each other in terms of the styling. Is that still useful as well, or can I scratch that?
That will depend on the context. For some cases, it could be useful for both mobile and desktop. For some, you might want to add an extra tag to make mobile easier, but that will make desktop harder. And then sometimes you have a tag that would make desktop easier, but will make mobile harder. And getting all of these things to interact nicely with each other is something that has to be learned with a bunch of trial and error lessons.
Well, then, yeah, I need some resources to know how to start, because I have zero idea how to go about mobile styling. I haven't seen any example whatsoever so far.
It's very easy. So you can start similar to how you started out with your blog. So first of all, you take a look at all those blogs that you used for inspiration, and using your inspector, you made the viewports wall so you see what they look like on mobile. And then you do the same for your page. And then, I mean, right now you have existing styles, you can try to find them, or you get rid one more time of all of your styles, except maybe the colors, right? Because they won't change. And then you first make your blog look good on mobile. And then you incrementally increase the viewport of your blog and your reference blogs and see how they change and see what you like. And you just steal from basically phone to tablet to desktop.
How? I'm wondering. Why can't I just have one style for mobile, one for tablet, and one for desktop? Like, how are they related to each other? Like, doesn't it make sense to have all the same, them all separate styles? I mean, we're probably talking about positioning mostly, right? I mean, like the hover effects. I mean, you don't hover on mobile, but the colors and shapes will mostly stay the same. It's probably about size and about position, right? Mostly.
Yes, exactly. And there are many ways to skin a cat, right? So there are different approaches that you can try and see what works best for you. The one that kind of has emerged as being go-to is just using Tailwind and its modificators. But obviously when you said, hey, can I not just have 3 different styles? You could have 3 different style sheets, which all use a media query to swap each other out, right? You can have one style sheet from maybe 0 to mobile, then another style sheet from mobile to tablet, and then the last style sheet from tablet to desktop. That's totally possible. Depends on what you want to do. If you want to learn the way that most people are using it, I would just go with the table modificators.
Yeah, I thought that these modificators work this way, where it's like from here to here, use these styles, from here to here, use these, from here to here, use these, and I don't know, all inside of one line, and they basically sometimes add and sometimes subtract to each other. I have no idea how these work, and I only know that there's a dark mode modificator, if that's actually a modificator. I don't know. Yeah. I will probably read through the docs, or maybe there's a tutorial explaining that you can recommend.
So I have 2 tips for you. The first one is to look for YouTube for Tailwind and the keyword responsive design together, this Tailwind responsive design, and see if any tutorials catch your eyes, skim through them and see if you like them. And my second tip for you is to just look for YouTube and put in the search term golden layout CSS. Golden layout CSS, three words. And because the golden layout is pretty much the standard layout that your blog also has, with a header at the top, one main content, and footer at the bottom. And there are very neat tricks that people shared in different tutorials for that golden layout. I don't have a specific video that I would recommend, but I would just, watch 2-3 golden layout videos from different people and then see what tips they give you and with which teacher you resonate the most.
So Tailwind responsive and then separately CSS golden layout, or does it? I mean, is it important to have Tailwind in the context of or to have the golden layout in the context of Tailwind, or can I just transfer the knowledge from CSS golden layout to Tailwind?
Yeah, definitely the latter. So it's 2 search terms, Tailwind responsive design, to see how you do responsive design with Tailwind, and then golden layout CSS, to see how you do good golden layout, and just translating the CSS properties that they're using in that tutorial to Tailwind is pretty easy using the Tailwind docs. And maybe, you can try and just say golden layout Tailwind CSS and see if something comes up that's already in Tailwind. But usually the best tutorials are just about a specific topic, and then you can just translate it, because the more constraints you add, the less likely it is that there's a perfect tutorial for it. But just play around, right? See a bunch of YouTube videos, maybe look for a bunch of blog posts by just looking on DuckDuckGo, Medium or so, and see what you find. But I think those 2 search terms, responsive design Tailwind and golden layout CSS, or optionally golden layout Tailwind CSS, will solve your problem and will give you a good head start to tackle this problem from you. And I think you will find some very nice tricks there that you might have used, might have solved right now with some little hacks, adding tags just for styling, that these tutorials will teach you how to do without these little hacks and just in a little bit cleaner way.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I felt a little bit like I got a toolbox where someone pointed to every tool once, showed me what one can do individually, but I never saw like a real proper process. And I was just like, okay, now use this toolbox. And it's like, yeah. Okay, so one last question. Will I be able to build the same style that I have with the subscribe, like the full height of the subscribe input? Will I be able to build that in the other process as well?
Of course, yeah. You can build anything. And I just want to mention very quick, you are definitely on the highway here, right? So your progress is insanely fast. I think it's obviously partly because of this arrangement that we have here and because you stick to the habit and code every day. But don't beat yourself up. Like people, what you do in a day, other people take 20 days for,
Okay, that's hard to believe because it feels like, okay, this is like the simplest website ever. But okay, I'll take it. I mean, there's a lot of logic behind, or a lot of parts behind that that are moving around. That's for sure. I definitely noticed that. But 20 days, maybe I can imagine like 3 days, but I don't know. Anyway, I'll take your word for it, and I'm happy that that I'm on the right track.
Well, the reason for that is that really people, when they learn coding on their own, even if they use tutorials, and this is just one of the key things why everyone out there, if you can, you should get a mentor, because they can help you with crucial insights in the proper moment, right? And sometimes in life, we have to make the negative experience to put the positive experience into context, meaning it is crucial that you, in the beginning, just use HTML, and then later you learn to appreciate React, right? And in your case, you even learned a little bit of EJS, but now you get to appreciate the beauty of EJS. Like this process of first doing it the quote-unquote old way or the tedious way teaches you a lot about why the new way even emerged and how it is good, and also it gives you that understanding of what is doing behind the scenes. And similarly here, like no matter how much you prepare, you cannot nail everything on the first try, because a lot of to nail everything on the first try, you have to have so much and hold so many tools, basically, as you described it in your metaphor, in your head at once that it becomes impossible, right? So the sweet spot is like, okay, when do you start just using the tools? If obviously you're going to learn new techniques about those tools, and maybe you take some tools that you have forgotten, but you just add them, right? Or you discover even more new tools because there are so many more tools out there. So what I'm trying to say is, while it would take other people, I think, 20 days, it's not necessarily because you're super smart. You are super smart. But the second reason is that you now have someone, or in general have someone that can just tell you, hey, look up these two terms. Like, how does someone on their own find the term golden layout? They don't. Maybe if you were on your own, you would have started your blog, and then someone was like, hey, I tried visiting your blog on mobile, but it looks better. And then that would be the first time that you hear about responsive design, and then like mobile design, and knowing, okay, that's a thing, like even remembering it, right? So I think it's a mixture between just you being a very thorough learner or a very fast learner, but also it's being able to just get the insights exactly in the moment when you're ready for them, and exactly when you have that context that you need to really make the most out of these insights, that your learning curve is so steep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy that I did not get interrupted like in the middle of building what I built today, because now I have like a something that I just like on its own, and have something that that still feels like a success on its own, rather than being interrupted in the middle to start all over directly. So I mean, mixed feelings, because yeah, I was pretty happy. No, I'm not. But yeah, I can be happy about what I did today anyway. So I will see in the next few days how much it will have, how much it has brought me. But yeah, let's go.
Exactly, let's go. And yeah, that's a normal feeling. Like we sometimes, we feel something and then we're like, oh, damn, I can do this even better. Especially in the beginning, that's a feeling that happens quite a bunch. But I think, yeah, focus on the stuff that you did great, and I think the styling just looks awesome, and the blog post was awesome, and stuff that was hard for you a couple of days ago are now kind of taken for granted. Like, your subscription form just works, and the MDX stuff just works. Stuff that was hard for you a couple of days ago, you just solved that and it works.
Yes, I do feel the parts coming together. Definitely, stuff is taking shape, and I'm curious what is, yeah, how I will, how comfortable I am, and how, after this this blog project.
Let's end with the other meme, and thank you everyone for watching. We hope you learned something. There was a lot of stuff is happening lately, and if you catch all of these things, you can save a lot of time if you're early on your coding journey by just having us explain all these things for you, and try to build your own blog. Maybe if you're watching this asynchronous after the fact, if you're watching the recording, or if you're watching live, build your own blog and then go back here and see what the code looks like. And I think eventually Leon will open source his code, and then you can also just feel a little bit well, as open source people do, just stand on the shoulders of giants. Well, thank you for watching. This has been day 105 of the Code Call with
Leon Andersen, who is also day 5 of 100 Days of Gym, and my wonderful mentor,
Andersen from TEDxDev, who I don't know how many hundred days of gym he is, but he's definitely at least a lifetime of quacks. So thank you, everyone. See you tomorrow.
always be opening the source.